Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm truly grateful. So many channels you could be watching, and you're watching man. 8 important things that can make or break your trip to the Philippines. Let's get right into it. Diseases. I'll put that number 1. And these are not really in any order. But unsafe water, poor sanitation and hygiene. Be careful. Just to know that it's out there. Bring a lot of hand sanitizer. They've got a lot of good alcohol here for sale. But you got to understand, less than 10% of the population over here has access to piped sanitation systems. Another 7 million are using the bathroom outside. And then another 19 million are still using unapproved sanitation facilities. Now, this is according to the Philippine Statistics Authority. So yeah, be careful, especially when you're dealing with street foods, any kind of food over here. Just keep that in mind. Diseases. Mosquitoes. You know, it's funny that the smallest thing over here is probably the most deadly. Long before there was COVID, there was dengue. It was killing a lot of people over here. What I would suggest is to bring some good off lotion or whatever works for you to repel mosquitoes, especially at night, especially if you're around any body of water. Standing water, the ocean, sea, a river. I don't have a problem with them at my house in St. Carlos City, but whenever we go to the beach or something like that, I'm always lathered up in mosquito repellent. Very important, guys. You know, it's just something that could make or break your trip here. Who wants dengue when you're on vacation? Typhoons. Yeah, let's talk about typhoons. I talk about them briefly on my channel, but it's very important to know the weather where you're going. Everybody knows Typhoon Yolanda over here in 2019, one of the strongest typhoons on record, super typhoon. Depending on who you want to believe, it's anywhere from 7,000 to 30,000 people lost their lives. Hundreds of foreigners, guys, lost their lives down in Tacloban City in that typhoon. Remember, there's nothing we can do about being in the wrong place at the wrong time, but always check to make sure you know what the weather is like in the area you're going, specifically Central Luzon and Eastern Visayas, around Tacloban, Samar, Bicol area up in Luzon. It can make or break your trip. Let's talk about child beggars over here. This is something that you overlook. We very seldom talk about it. But there's several types of child beggars. Most of them are just innocent kids, you know, who looking for something to buy, a lollipop or candy. They discourage you from doing that, okay? You know, use your own discretion. But there's some children over here that belong to gangs or families like Bajaus, and when you pull out the 20 pesos, you're going to be surrounded. I've told a story that I was down in Dumaguete. It's what happened to me. That's how I learned my lesson. You have to be real careful. But child beggars is something that can make or break your trip here, because let's face it, man, you don't want that drama. It even happened to me the last time when I went down to see Gabe down in Zamboanga City. Okay, we went to Paseo del Mar, and you know, it's right on the ocean, and you throw money out there, and the Bajau kids will dive down in the water and get it. You can see it. The water's clear, and they'll come up with it. Well, for some reason, I don't know why I did this, but instead of me throwing coins down there, I gave them a 20 pesos. And by the time I got, and this is no lie, guys, by the time I got to the second boat, I was surrounded by kids. And I mean, it had to have been at least 30. So what I did, the only thing that got me away, quick thinking, I went on the interior of Paseo del Mar, and they won't come on the interior. They stay on the outside by the river. But yeah, child beggars is something that it can make or break your trip here. It can scare you half to death. You can be out of a lot of money. It's just use your discretion. Phones. And you say, well, yeah, this can make or break you. If you have an unlocked phone, the best thing for you to do is to come over here, buy a SIM card. I know you have to register it, and that's why I put the message as my thumbnail. That's the reason why the Filipino government is cracking down on all this phone scams, text spams, and all of that. So if you have an unlocked phone, go ahead and buy a SIM card, register it, and go ahead and use a Filipino provider over here. You're going to save a lot of money. If you've got a locked phone, the best thing to do is to either use that simply for Wi-Fi only, or buy you an affordable phone over here. They've got good Samsung phones over here for 6,000 pesos, about $110 or something like that. Real good phones to use over here. Otherwise, those roaming charges, I did it before. I had a Samsung back in 2010, and man, believe it or not, my phone bills were $400 when I got home. So your phones can make or break you here in the Philippines. ATM cards. ATM cards, guys, make sure that this is simple stuff, but it's the stuff we overlook. Make sure you notify your bank that you're coming to the Philippines. A lot of credit cards, they've gotten good with this now where you don't even have to tell them. I've got Capital One, and when I called to report that I was in the Philippines, they said, don't even worry about it. You don't even have to do that anymore. But with an ATM card, with your bank, yeah, you have to know. And there's some ATMs that won't take your card. Be on the lookout for skimming, because now, they got this big skimming thing going on here, and, you'll put your card in there, and then they'll get all your information, man. By the time you get back to the hotel, they done wiped you out. Luckily, I get notifications because it happened to me. I actually got hacked. I was in Dumaguete on my way to Siquijor Island, and for some reason, I was using that free Wi-Fi, and boom, 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 I put in my information, man. By the time we got back, they had already taken 2,000 cash out of my checking account, and they had already purchased $100 at the Piggly Wiggly. So ATM cards can make or break your trip here. And the last thing I'll talk about is petty crime over here. I don't carry a wallet. I never have, and I tell people why. It's because some of my close friends growing up, that was their hustle. They would go to major sporting events around the country or the state fair, and they would pickpocket people and literally ruin their time. And I never was a part of that, but because that's what they did, I never carried a wallet. And so I keep my money in my front pocket. Your important documents, guys, make a copy of it. I've talked about this before. Don't carry around your passport. Your passport is gold over here. Make a copy of the biological page, biography page rather, and your entry stamp. That's well enough. Or put it on your phone. Don't carry that stuff around. Because if you get pickpocketed, you got to go all the way to Manila, and then they're going to make you a temporary card, and you have to go home because it's only going to be temporary. Probably about 7 days. Okay, so be on the lookout for these things. These are things that can make or break your trip. Let's go over them again. Diseases. Unsafe water. Don't drink out of that tap. Poor sanitation and hygiene. Remember, this is the Philippines, guys, and they're developing. Things are getting better. But according to the Philippine Statistic Authority, 7 million people are using the bathroom outside. Another 19 million are using unapproved sanitation facilities. Excuse me. Less than 10% of the population has access to pipe sanitation system. Mosquitoes, guys, long before COVID, okay, there was dengue, killing a lot of people. Typhoons, know where you going, man. Know where you going when you go to visit somebody, when you're going on vacation. Surigao Island got hit bad in 2021. A lot of these vacation spots got hit bad. Know where these typhoons are coming. Hundreds of foreigners died in that Hurricane Yolanda. If you don't believe me, look it up. Anywhere from 7,000 to 30,000 people. Child beggars, okay, they can get you in trouble over here. You can find yourself in some sticky situations. Use your discretion, man. Be careful. If they look really, really dirty and like got on this native like clothing, it's probably bajals. Sometimes it's just innocent kids, you know, they're looking for a few pesos to buy a popsicle or ice cream or something like that. But be careful of that. Phones. Get you a phone, man. If you don't own your phone over here, buy you one of these affordable phones. Get you a Philippine SIM card. Go ahead and register it. It's no big deal. You're going to have everything right there with you anyway. And save you some money. ATMs, register them. Notify your bank. Guys, notify your bank. You're going to stick that in there and you're not going to be able to get anything. It happened to me on my first trip here. And I didn't know what was going on. And then it hit me. My bank don't even know I'm over here. And believe it or not, even though I've been over here over 4 years, every December 31st, my card expires. I have to call the bank again. You know, petty crime is rampant in these big cities over here, guys. Be careful with your wallet. Be careful with your important items. I don't carry a lot of money, you know, in my pocket. The most I may carry is about 2,000 pesos at a time. And it's one more thing I want to talk about that I forgot to mention. Immigration. Don't forget immigration over here. That can make or break your trip. You know, you're having fun. Your man's not on it. Remember, you get 30 days when you come over here, but that's it. After that, you got to extend. If you overstay, it could be problems. It's certainly going to cost you money. But depending on how long you overstay, you could end up on the blacklist. Now, some circumstances, you can appeal the blacklist. But a lot of times, man, if you overstay, you're probably going to go to jail. You're going to pay that fine before they'll let you leave. Don't forget immigration. It's easy to do. So thank y'all again for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I'm on my way to Cebu. And I want to meet some subscribers down there. And Maryland's going to follow me down. So if you're in America, it's getting late. Before you let your head hit the pillow, please find somebody to help. If you don't want them late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, just getting on second shift, or you're on your lunch break. See somebody on the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a few dollars. If you're in the Philippines, I guess it's about 7:30 a.m. Today is our electronic community pantry giveaway drawing. Maryland's going to have to do that today. We're not together, so that she's got the spin wheel. Not a day goes by, I don't help somebody, man. I'm going to help somebody else. I don't know who, I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know when, but I'm going to help them. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free, and I'll see you next time.